Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be doing a review of UFC 4. We're going to go through the pros and cons. Being the fourth iteration EA Sports has done of the UFC game means we're not going to go through and talk about everything. We're just going to talk about the positives and negatives of this particular iteration. Pros: growth through use and separating injuries and getting rocked. Cons: the music and the customization. And we're going to break those down a little bit later on for you guys. I reviewed the game and I gave it an 8 out of 10, and here's why. Really, growth through use is a big thing for me. When you use the jab 100 times in a match or 500 times in a match, it really grows your ability to use that jab, that hook, that haymaker, whatever you're using. So the more you use those particular skills, takedowns, jiu-jitsu transitions, any of it, you're really growing your ability to use those. They'll function better, they'll work better, they'll do more damage. They'll use less stamina. They really will help everything. I really like the heavy bag in this game because it really allows you to learn your combinations through repetition, muscle memory, so to speak. You remember Bruce Lee said, "I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times." I really like the transitioning through the clinch in this game. So whenever you've clinched, you can actually use the same technique you used to clinch to transition to another clinch instead and have a different angle of attack. It's really especially useful along the cage as well. If you knock somebody down and they're working their way up the cage, you can use some of those transitions as well to really get some good shots in. One of my biggest negatives on the game is customization. And the reason why this is a big negative for me is not because you have customization, but I really felt that it was lackluster. They spent a great deal of time in this game giving you all sorts of intro dances and taunts that really look incredibly silly. But when it comes to tattoos, they're still using the same tattoos from EA Sports UFC 1 from 2014. They haven't evolved it at all, and it really shows. I went ahead and recorded some of my favorite fights the other day as I was playing the game. I did speed them up, so they will look faster than the normal game, so just keep that in mind. That way you could enjoy the whole fight. They show some of my favorite features from the game throughout the fight. Enjoy. So one of the things I really like about this game is they separate injuries and getting rocked. At times, the fighter's going to be concussed or a sprain or something along those lines. You'll really see it separated. It makes it harder to fight during the fight, and also sustaining any kind of major or minor injury could actually carry on and have effects on your career. Major injuries usually carry with them a reduction in stats, immediately both in the fight and out of the fight. So they carry on to your career and longevity. When you're in the middle of the fight, and it flashes red, you're about to be knocked out, you're rocked. Used to be that you were just gray when you were rocked, but now it flashes red when you're rocked. Your stamina drops and you're wobbly. If you get a minor injury throughout the fight, it'll look blue instead. It'll pop up on your screen, it'll tell you the first time that this happens, but it will affect you throughout the fight as well. So I haven't really talked a whole lot about the music, but I will say that I was really disappointed in the music in the game. I didn't feel with this game that they did anything but grab a whole bunch of rap songs and slap them on. You can find some very generic music throughout the game if you look through all of their tracks, but if you're not a fan of rap, just go ahead and turn the music off. One of the things that I find in most sports games that can be really, really negative, although I don't take away from the game for this because it's kind of a trope, it's kind of in every single sports game, is the repeating of sayings. And I know that the announcers go through and they record a lot of stuff in the process. I know it's really involved. However, there's a saying in the game where one of the announcers mentions Tom Brady, and then the other announcers is, oh, you got to bring that up. But they do it so many times that it gets really, really old really quick. Thanks everybody for watching my review of UFC 4. I really hope it helped you make a choice as to whether or not you wanted to pick up the game. And don't forget that you can use the EA access to preview the game for I believe up to 10 hours. You guys have fun. We'll see you next time.